As the day goes on, it seems as if the highly controversial Activision Blizzard deal is more than likely to go through. But how is Sony lobbying their case to stop the deal from going through? By throwing EA Battlefield's franchise under the bus, of course. But find out why. Up next. What up, guys? This is Kalo. I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Okay, so this video will not talk about the Activision Blizzard deal at length. Pinky promise. I'm tired of talking about this. But long story short, Sony is claiming the exclusivity of Call of Duty being solely on Xbox will irreparably damage sales for the PS5 and future console generations. So, what does Battlefield have to do with this? Well, Sony posed the argument in a 20-page document submitted to the UK government, which is going over the acquisition. And it read, even assuming that SIE had the ability and the resources to develop a successful franchise to Call of Duty, it would take many, many years and billions of dollars to create a challenger to Call of Duty. Now, here comes the burn, and the example of EA's Battlefield shows that any such efforts would more than likely be unsuccessful. Ouch. So, I guess we can take a look at the previous Battlefield entries to see if what they're claiming here is true. So, looking back, Battlefield 5 got a 73, and Battlefield 2042, which is the most recent entry in the series, got a 68 on Metacritic. Comparatively, Call of Duty Vanguard had lackluster sales, which Activision Blizzard themselves blamed on the game's World War II setting. But the recent release of Modern Warfare 2 hit $1 billion in sales in just 10 days, making it the fastest growing COD title to reach that mark than any past entry. Now, could there be some credibility here to Sony's argument? Me personally, I believe this is where you insert that old phrase, quantity over quality. Since Activision launched the franchise all the way back in 2003, there has been a total of 43 Call of Duty games, while EA shipped only 17 Battlefield games total. So yes, it would take a lot to create a game that is even close to Call of Duty, and Battlefield is nowhere near that numbers-wise. Now, Sony is familiar with this because Sony itself launched their own efforts in the past to rival their enemies in the FPS world, with the Killzone and Resistance franchises. But ultimately, their efforts went down the drain, with the Killzone franchise being officially retired back in 2021. Now, Sony did purchase Bungie, which developed the popular Destiny franchise. So, let's pit Destiny against Call of Duty here. Now, while Destiny doesn't have a mobile version for players to dive into like Call of Duty, there really isn't much numbers-wise out there for total units sold. But NPD Group analyst Matt Piscatella did give us a little nugget as far as where Destiny stacks up against Call of Duty, tweeting, "Since its debut in September 2014, Destiny is the #2 best-selling FPS franchise in US dollar sales, trailing only Call of Duty. Destiny is also the 7th overall best-selling franchise in tracked sales in that period." So it looks like we got a little battle of the #1 and #2 seed in the FPS market, which does put everything in perspective. And is it really damaging as Sony claims this deal to be? Now, a total of 16 governments have to approve this deal, and a majority of them are not so far. The CMA went as far to state Microsoft already has a leading gaming console, being the Xbox, a leading cloud platform in Azure, and the leading PC OS, which is Windows, all of which could be important to its success in cloud gaming. Sorcha O'Carroll, who is the senior director of mergers at the CMA, stated, "We are concerned that Microsoft could use its control over popular games like Call of Duty and World of Warcraft post-merger to harm rivals, including recent and future rivals in multi-game subscription services and cloud gaming." But it's all not doom and gloom for Microsoft because their transactions have been improved in Brazil, Saudi Arabia, and Serbia, with 13 other countries yet to sign off. But enough about that. I want to end on a more positive note, especially for the sake of Battlefield, because that game is getting bullied. Battlefield is now just entering its 3rd season with 3 free maps since launch, and it's just been added to Game Pass and EA Play. Speaking with PC Gamer, DICE associate producer Alexio Cristofi stated, "We want people to jump in and play and say, oh, this isn't what I expected, given what I found on the internet." Well, that's a nice goal to have. So, as per usual, I'm going to pass a question off to you guys. Is there really even a chance for an FPS game to rival Call of Duty? And is that game already under Sony's wing, being Destiny? Also, have you jumped back into Battlefield 2042? And is it good? But that about does it here. I've been Kalo. I gave you the lowdown on all things gaming. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content and drop a like on the video. I'll see you guys next time.